Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI live noding. In this episode, I'm gonna do the quick one. It's basically another look at the shape keys using Sverchok. Um, in this example, in the 3D view, currently I have like around 20 objects, and basically what I'm doing here is kind of randomizing the shape keys of each and every object. Okay, so that's a pretty basic, but I think this can be used for more advanced scenario. So currently, basically, the idea is to have an object with a multiple shape keys, and currently we have more or less the same objects being instance. And then what's happening next is like Sverchok just just source every object and then source every shape keys and then get all the key blocks and then just modify the value, and each of these objects now have a different set of randomized shape keys, as you can see here. If I have a characters with all different shape keys here, I can easily randomize their facial expression this way. Yeah, I don't know what this can be used for, but yeah, let's just give it a try. Okay, we're just gonna use this box. I'm gonna save it real quick. This is a Sverchok multiple shape key, and with this guy, let's just quickly generate some random shape keys. Click on shape keys. We have the basis, and then we have key one. Key one, just maybe just pull it up, and then key number two, maybe just scale it down. This guy, actually use this. Oh, okay. And another, so we can, we can control that. I have another one. Just probably randomize the vertices. Another one, another just random. This guy and this guy looks very similar, so I just gonna do it differently. Key number 4, just go to edit mode and then maybe scale it down like that. So if we mix them, we can have like all kind of random shapes just by using that shape keys. Okay, now we are ready. File save as. Go to compositing. You can do this using animation nodes as well, but I'm gonna use Sverchok for now. So basically, in Sverchok, you can do it in multiple different ways. There is the one I like to use is the object ID get. So this guy will actually source all the objects in the scene, type of mesh. And then the next thing I will use is the object's ID set. If I specify the object and specify the shape keys, let's say we want just to control this value, we look up here and then we can see the data path is bpy.data shape keys name key blocks blah blah blah. Okay, copy paste. It's gonna give an error because we don't here with the command, with the function here, there's a value specified already, so we don't want that. With the value, we want to provide our own value. So let's try Still not working because we don't need the bpy dot. Delete that, and still doesn't work. That's because of this funny thing that Blender does. We don't actually need data.shapekeys name key. Just get rid of that. Now this guy is working, and this is working based on this key number 2 value. If we change it to key 1, we are changing key 1, okay, and then key 4, of course, changing shape keys number 4. So it's depending on the name you put right here. So that seems to be working. What's next? We actually, if we have like a multiple objects right now and then update, Sverchok will do it for all of these objects. So this is like a multiple objects, the multiple objects and the same key blocks we are changing right here. What we want is to be able to control multiple shape keys for multiple objects and giving a different value for each one of the shape keys, right? If we want to change all of these shape keys, we can do that as well. Basically, if I'm not wrong, we just get rid of the name here. Okay, that apparently doesn't work. I think this can work if we actually piggyback this guy. And for every key blocks, change the value. So that can actually reset all the values for all 3 objects. See, all of them is like 0, 0, 0, and then 1. I'm changing it using Sverchok. So that's how you might want to do it. It's giving a red color, don't know why. Shape keys. I think a more correct way is to do it like this. Data.shape keys and then key blocks like that, and the value. Yeah, that seems to work. I don't know, maybe this should be like this. No. Maybe we should have 4 or 5, just to be very clear. Five objects. Okay, seems to be working. So we can see, okay, 5 objects goes in here, and it says 5, 3. Maybe I should put this guy right here, and the value over here. So it doesn't give any error now. 5 object. This should. I was expecting maybe 3 value here or 4. That's okay. Now we can use a random number generator right here. Float size of 4. Plug that in there. If I'm not wrong, now we can have a random value for each of these shape keys. But you might notice that we managed to randomize the key, but it's still the same for each and every object. Okay, so how do we fix that? It's pretty simple. Basically, you use another random number generator, and then here you specify the seed number. Yeah, you can use random number generator or range integer. This is gonna be for the seed value. because we have 5 objects, we specify count of 5, and then yeah, basically that's gonna randomize our objects. Each and every objects now have a different shape keys value, so now you have these variations of objects. If you have like a character rig and with a different all kind of shape keys for facial expression, this actually can be used, but for now I have this you know, just box, making it random shapes simply by using this simple setup. Grab every object, access the shape keys, and for every key blocks give a random value with a random seed for every object. Okay, so that's pretty much it, but I'm gonna give you something extra. So let's pick the original cube, this guy, and I'm gonna use animation node. And with animation nodes, you can use objects instancer. And here we can have as many instances as we want. I'm gonna quickly arrange it. Like so. Use math. Gonna push that a little bit. Okay, now we have how many we want to have? Maybe 20 for now. They're all still having the same shape keys. Maybe we need to have copy full objects and deep copy. And now we have we can have like all these 20 objects with different random shapes based on the shape keys right here. Back to Sverchok, we need to specify, you know, because we have 20 now, we have to specify 20 here, but you don't want to do this every time. You want to be able to do that automatically, so just use a list length right here, get that guy, plug that in to the count. Level 1 or level 2? Let me check first. Okay, it's level 0. List length level 0. If we go back to animation nodes and give it a grid mesh, give it a vector list, plug that in there, and this one there. We can simply plug that in there and rearrange our objects. We can have as many as we want, and when Sverchok get updated, it's gonna randomize all and every single instance. Yeah, and the master, don't forget this, the master, just put in layer number 2. So now we have 100 objects, each with different slight variations. They can be like a building, just a very simple building. They're an actual objects here, so don't have it more than 1000. It might slow down your computer. But if you have a lot of memory, this will work. So back to Sverchok, we can still control this seed, and that's the number of shape keys, higher or lower here. You can actually push it more than 1. Maybe just do it like that. So now you can randomize it. So this is one way I am proposing how we can use the system here, Sverchok and animation nodes. You can do the same thing, everything using just animation nodes, but doing it this way, I think it's a little bit makes more sense, because accessing this kind of data can be easier using Sverchok. You don't have to think about loop, because Sverchok has this mechanism to give to generate random number, and also to do this kind of seeding, and you can increase the size. Yeah, I think this is still, even though this you need to provide the data, the attributes, the address to the data blocks, but still this is still kind of easy and logical. So okay, let's give it some matcat and ambient occlusion. Back to animation nodes, give it even bigger value, 25, 250 now we have. Actually 10,000 is still pretty fast and interactive, but that's a big number, and you have 10,000 objects in the outliner, so be careful with that. If we have some kind of actually we can do kind of similar thing using Sverchok and don't have like 10,000 objects. 100 times 100, yeah, 10,000 objects, and things started to get a bit slow. But yeah, anyway, this is pretty much what I want to show you in this live noding video. Any comment, suggestion, let me know down below, and I'll see you on the next video.